The stove is certainly heating up as John Harper and Chris Lopresti join the show. Harp, what do you make of the Mets being one of the favorites for Valdez?
Well, they seem to be in on everybody, according to a lot of the reports, Julie. But it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we've talked about Valdez before. He might be the most accomplished of all these guys. These free agents are out there. It's going to take. Seems like it's going to take a real long-term deal to get him. Maybe I think like a 7-year deal. So, I mean, it makes sense as long as the Mets get one of these guys. I would personally go for Suarez because I think it'll be a little cheaper, and I think he's got a proven postseason record that matches up with Valdez. But Valdez is maybe the top guy out there now. So, I mean, we'll see. I think there's more than just two teams on it, though, for sure.
Yeah, and among the favorites. The wording there, pre-winter meetings, and when it's the Mets and you got Steve Cohen's bankroll, I mean, I think any agent would be happy to have his client's name attached to the Mets being on the list.
Price up a little bit.
And I'm not saying that's the case here, but, you know, just a week or so ago, it was, hey, the Mets didn't even talk to his camp at the GM meeting. So it's hard this time of year to gather what exactly is factual, what's not, what's coming from what certain source, so on and so forth. Look, an accomplished pitcher, no doubt. I have some concerns about that thing that happened with the catcher down the stretch with the Astros. And look, I mean, I get it. He's pitched in big games. The Astros are very accomplished. He's been there for a lot of the success. But, you know, pitching in this market, East Coast,
that would
New
be
York.
A huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be a little cautious there. To your point, there are some other options I think might make a little bit more sense, both from a fit standpoint and a financial standpoint. Not that the Mets are necessarily always worried about the finances because they have plenty of money to spend. But I don't know that I'd put him at the very top of my list.
All right, some of those other options. Feinsand also reports both the Mets and the Yankees are interested in Michael King. So, CeeLo, which team do you think would be a better fit for him, Mets or Yankees?
I like the Mets. I mean, look, we've seen him with the Yankees in a different role. Not that the Yankees couldn't benefit from his services, but, you know, I don't know that there's certainly more of a need with the Mets. I'd put it that way. With the Yankees, you know, Cole's going to be coming back. Rodon will be back in the early part of the season. At some point, Clark Schmidt. You know, they just invested in Max Fried. You've got Cam Schlittler there now. You got Luis Heel. I don't know that the Yankees are really looking to go and spend big on another starting pitcher, whereas we know this is a need for the Mets going into this offseason. It's not the only name. Maybe he's not the very top of the list either. There's some injury concerns and history there as well. But in terms of looking to plug a spot and fill a hole in the rotation, for me at least, I like the Mets.
It makes sense there. The only thing, my thing would be, I would say Yankees because, as you said, King's had some injury history there. And the Mets, they need a little more certainty is the word that GMs like to use in that rotation now. Whereas the Yankees, I feel like they could take a chance on King because the depth you said, we're going to have guys coming back. And King might have the highest ceiling of all these guys because when he's right, man, he's got some of that Maddox-like movement and he moves that ball all over the place. So I think the Yankees could take that chance. And if he only gave maybe 80 to 100 innings, they could live with that as long as he's healthy in October. The Mets feel like they need a guy who's stayed durable, who's going to be there start in and start out because of all the injury problems they had last year.
Well, ESPN's Buster Olney reports the Tigers continue to speak with teams about a potential Tarik Skubal trade, though the asking price is, quote, enormous. Harp, should the Mets pay an enormous price for Skubal?
What exactly is enormous? That's what we need to know, Julie. Look, I mean, I'm going to go try to get him if I'm the Mets. If he's really available, I think that what they might be doing is putting the price tag so high that they're going to come back and say, well, nobody met the price tag, so we're kind of forced to keep him. So, look, if you're the Mets, you can't give up McLean, that's for sure. I'll give up just about anybody with McLean. I would really want to hang on the Benj, too, Carson Benj. Look, if you have to give up both Sproat and Tong, that's a hard ask for 1 year of Skubal, only 1 year, but maybe you do it because he's that good. You can win a championship with him. So I'm not giving up McLean and trying not to give up Benj.
Yeah, I mean, enormous. I think maybe you shoot for the stars this stage heading into the winter meetings from a Tiger standpoint, and then it's like, okay, you shoot for the stars, and then the teams come in a little bit lower than that, and then you set the parameters, and maybe you feel like you came away with a pretty decent package. You know, I'm of the opinion that if you're going to give up a haul for this guy, you don't want it to be just for the 1 year.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's going to sign on the dotted line, an extension ahead of free agency. Of course, he wants to get paid. He's going to want to get to the open market. But if I'm the Mets and I'm giving up the prospects and all that it would take to get him, I want to make sure I have a pretty good feel that I could sign him for the long term.
Yeah.